An arpeggio is a broken chord, a chord that's played in separate notes. Let's take a look at an A chord. You all know this chord? The notes in this chord are A, E, A, C sharp, and E. Those are exactly the notes that are in this chord, and you can see that in that chord I've got an A, and I've got a duplicated A at the octave, and I've got an E, and a duplicated E at the octave, and a C sharp on the second string. Now, if I take that A and the E and the C sharp, put them in order, the order that I would find them in an A major scale, I'm going to give you the A major scale notes: A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. Return. So if I take those the notes of the A major chord, and I play them in the order that they happen in the major scale, I have A, C sharp, and E. That's a three-note arpeggio. And that's exactly what we want to do today in the key of A. We want to play a 12-bar blues using a line that is based in the arpeggio of the chord, of each of the chords of A, D, and E. It's going to be super simple. So here's our arpeggio for A. But we're going to go as far as the sixth and come back. You can hear that, right? Now it's going to look exactly the same when we're starting it from D, because the tuning between those two strings is the same. Back to the A. And the same applies to the E. Tuning is exactly the same. D. You get the idea. The chords of A, D, and E, or A7, D7, and E7. So all I'm doing is playing an arpeggio 1, 3, 5 for the first degree, the third degree, and the fifth degree of the scale of the scale that belongs to the chord, and then adding the sixth above it, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? The sixth falls back down to the 5 in my line. All right, real straightforward and simple. Now, when we do that through a complete 12-bar blues, you'll notice that each one of those lines takes up only one measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and so on. So that means that you're going to play that identical line 12 times through a 12-bar blues. And in each case, it works beautifully in the key of A, because in each case you've got an open string to start with, right? A, D, and E, and the line, the figure, is going to fall exactly the same under your fingers. It's going to be identical from A to D to E, identical shapes. Now, if you want to take this just one step further, you feel like why not? I can do it. You can add the 7 as well, the flat 7 in this case. Listen to what happens to the line. 6 to 5, but now we're going to do that's a little bit trickier. Now, all of a sudden, we've expanded that line to being 1 measure long, to the phrase being 2 measures long. Listen up again. I'll name the degrees of the scale. 1, 3, 5, 6, 5, flat 7, 6, 5, 3, 5. I'll do it one more time slowly. It's going to look the same on each string. Now, I only played half that figure when I got to the E, and the reason for that is I only have 1 measure at that point. I don't have 2 measures in the 12-measure blues form. The E is only going to happen 1 time, and so I have to go back to halving that that line to the original one that I showed you at the top, going only to the 6th. And the same thing, you know, anywhere else, you know, if we go to the D and there's only 1 measure of D, you have to play half that line. So in sections where you've got 4 whole measures, for instance, at the top, you can play the whole line twice. And again. And same thing goes for the D. Now you've got 2 measures. And then 2 measures of E. But now going to the E 1 time. D once. A once. E once. And then you're back to the full line again. Now this becomes a little bit trickier, but really fun to play. And also keep thinking about the chords, right? E, A, D, E, and A. And think of the degrees of your scale, right? So you've got the 1, 3, 5, 6, flat 7. You can just call it a 7 too if you like, but you know, just we call it a flat 7 because it's different than the major 7. More on that later. 6, 7, 6, 5, 3, and the root. Chords 1, 4, 5.